channel. Today is going to be a video of my everyday foundation routine. This is a requested video. A couple of people have requested for it and asked for it, so I thought I would just get round to doing it because it was asked for quite a while ago. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you find it helpful, and I will see you in a mo. Bye! Okay, so the first thing I like to do before I do even start my foundation or primer or anything is I like to just quickly moisturise under the eye areas and my skin, just because I find that I do have a combination skin, so I can be slightly oily and I can also be slightly dry. So I just like to make sure that the areas that need moisturising, you know, aren't going to go like flaky and make my foundation look all like, well, not very nice on my face basically. So for my face, I like to use the L'Oreal Skin Perfection Day Moisturiser. I have a whole review on this range and I will pop it in the description box below. And then just for my under eyes, I like to use the Soap & Glory Make Yourself Youthful Rejuvenating Eye Cream. So once my moisturiser has soaked into my skin, I then just go on to use a primer, and my primer of choice is Benefit's Porefessional. This is a recent addition to my foundation routine, as I don't know, recently I've just noticed that my pores are so much more visible on my cheek areas, and it was starting to like really bother me. So I just use this just in the areas and pat it into my skin where I think that I need it. I like to just dab the majority of it on my cheek areas here, and I like to pat it in so that I don't smooth out the product too much and so that I know that I'm getting maximum coverage. I then put a little bit on my nose, just down the side. I rub kind of the excess along the top of my lip and then just a little bit in the middle of my forehead. And I'm not too bothered about too much coverage there. So it's just basically my T-zone. Then I just let that soak into my skin for about 5 minutes or so. Normally at this point I'd go on and do my hair and stuff like that. So I just like to make sure that it sinks straight in, and so the product's not moving around when I put my foundation on my face. So as this is my everyday foundation routine, I'm going to show you my everyday foundation, which is the No.7 Stay Perfect foundation in the colour Warm Sand, my winter shade, still on the winter shade. So I just dot this all over my face, and then I like to use a Real Techniques buffing brush to buff it into my skin. The reason I like this foundation is because it gives like a medium coverage, and also I think it's really important to make sure that you pick a foundation that complements your skin. So if you don't need a full coverage foundation, don't wear a full coverage foundation, because it's just going to end up looking cakey and not the nicest, and you want your beautiful skin to show through if you've got really nice beautiful skin. So I just like to buff it in. I'm really not very careful. And just make sure that I buff down my neck as well, because I would hate for someone to be like, oh my god, look at her tide line. So next I go on to concealer, and I use two concealers, one for like any slight blemishes that I may have and one for under the eyes. And I like to use the eye eraser from the Maybelline range, and then I also like to use the Matchmade concealer from No.7. With this one, I don't like too much under the eyes, if I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not like a massive concealer fan under the eyes, because I have really dry under eyes. I don't use a brush or anything. I just basically triangle it and then I pat it in with my fingers. So once I've done my under eye concealer, I like to set it straight away because I have some really fine lines underneath my eyes, and concealer just, it doesn't matter how expensive it is, how cheap it is, it always creases on me. So I like to set it straight away, and I just use a translucent powder. Today I think I'm using a No.7 one, and a Real Techniques contour brush, and I like to use this because it really gets in under my eye. And then what I like to do is just grab a Real Techniques detailer brush. It's amazing for concealing blemishes, and I just kind of coat the end of the brush and then thoroughly inspect my face and just pat on where I have got any blemishes. And then what I like to do is I like to set my whole face, but I like to do that once I have done the rest of my makeup. But I usually just use the same translucent powder that I have used throughout to set underneath my eyes, and then throughout the day I just like to use a coloured powder just for touch-ups and things like that. So guys, that was my foundation routine. If you have any questions or comments about it, then please leave them below. It is a really simple routine, but for every day I don't like my foundation base to be too fussy. Yeah, if you have any other requests, then please leave them down below and I will try and get round to them. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, liking, subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!